One of Britain's greatest heroes was born right here in Highbridge in Somerset. If you come with me, I'll tell you the story of Major Frank Foley and how he became known as the British Schindler.
Hello everyone and welcome to the show, Real. My name's Luke Knight and I'm a trained broadcast journalist and presenter who's been working in local radio since 2014. So how does a showreel like this work for a radio journalist? It's all very visual. Well, I recently have been growing a modest following on social media, the likes of TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, by shooting, presenting and editing mini-series and documentaries featuring stories and history in my home county of Somerset, which I adore, by the way. Is what I've been up to.
Now, a teensy bit of imagination is required if you're going to get a sense of just how vast this place would have been back in its heyday. But these aerial shots will give you a good idea, and also the different sections and layout of the abbey. And what of the Norman? Well, she hasn't really moved much in the 127 years that she's been grounded here. Oh, sure, she's changed. Look, the weather has taken its toll. She's been salvaged a number of times. But one thing is guaranteed with this shipwreck. You can visit it twice a day as she rises from the sea like a ghost ship. Well, after 27 years of taking people across the Atlantic Ocean, Concorde was deemed far too expensive by both Britain and France in terms of running costs and maintenance. So both nations said enough was enough.
Now this is the really clever bit, because once the Germans had dropped their payload harmlessly onto the hills, they had to believe that they had hit something. So what the boys in these bunkers would do is they would have wires and cables all coming out of the bunker, and they would be remote controlled for fires of varying types that they would set off in the safety of these bunkers. And the Germans would look down, they would see the fires, and they would see that Bristol was ablaze.
I mean, yeah, okay, it doesn't exactly scream conventional church on the outside, but if we go inside, it's a different story altogether. The line would eventually extend to Yatton via the famous Strawberry Line.
Now, not only would the railway carry passengers, but it would also be useful for carrying freight, like local quarried stone, milk, and even bitumen.
But they soon found out that the conditions here in Lynmouth were too treacherous to launch the boat. So, the boss, the coxswain, came up with the idea to launch the boat at Porlock Weir, where it was a bit more sheltered. However, that meant taking the boat overland, over Exmoor, 13 miles. But they did it. And this is the journey that they took.